Are you on my internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It says live.
Okay, we're here, I think. We don't know really what's happening. Hey guys, it's Nat. I'm here with Chelsea.
Hello.
We're doing layers today. Look, like I'm going to be in the front. Look how tiny you look. We should have it the other way so that it would be more balanced.
There we go.
Is that better?
Now we're even.
Okay, hold on. Should I lower my chair? Wait, is there a little fancy? Oh my
There
god,
you
this
go.
is super fancy.
Very fancy.
I'm pushing things. You know what's going to happen, like when you push things and then I'm on the floor.
Where you ejected up like in
Like-
the
like
movie
the-
Neighbors.
So we're digressing. Hold on, we're
Hurry,
stuck.
Andy.
Let's go together.
I'm hitting cancel here just in case.
To cancel anything. All right, so
Okay.
we're trying something new today. So we are right now live over here on my mobile device. However, Chelsea is very, very smart. And she thinks that she figured out a way to rig up the computer to do something. So if we automatically go live again someplace else,
Figure it out.
then we'll be like, oh, we'll be over there. So hi, everybody. For the record, we'll get our messages up here now, right? Okay, so I am here. We are in New York City. We're live. We're together, which is really cool. So this is definitely a treat for me.
And me.
So I've known this chick for, I don't know, how many months were you when you came to class?
It was November, so almost a year now. I know.
We've had
it
a
was
good
like November
year.
5th. Yeah.
It's been a good year.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Oh my gosh, it's been a great year. So Chelsea's puppies are now 6-month-old. She has 2 little dudes. I don't know if you ever want to give their names, but they're the sweetest little boys and they're so happy. And your husband's Instagram posts of him yesterday in the jumperoo really made my day.
Oh, thanks.
He was in the mother effing jungle. Which
Yeah,
is
he
what
goes to
says
the
so.
jungle.
I was like, yeah, he was in the total jungle on his little jumperoo. And so today we're going to catch up. We're going to find out what's happening. I want to know how the dudes are doing, how life is going. She says she has a lot to tell me, and I've been dying to know, and I've been really distracting myself because I don't want to say, like, tell me, but I want her to tell me while you guys are here.
Yeah.
Because we're a family and we do this together.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me everything because I have to know what's happening.
All right, so we had some on-the-job mom training.
Okay.
So we took a trip to Florida, which I think we should put a pin in, and we can talk about traveling with twins
Okay,
next. But
put a pin in it.
I think the most important thing
Boom.
to talk about is that both of my boys were in the ER.
What
last week.
happened?
I know, I might tear up. So everybody, like, I apologize because it was a very emotional PTSD situation.
Hold on. First of all, what hospital did you go to?
Hackensack.
Okay.
Pediatric
Well, you're in
emergency.
good shape. And it's a kid's pediatric.
It was a
emergency room.
wonderful hospital.
All right.
And if anybody
Okay.
there lives near there, I just can't say enough about Hackensack.
All right.
Pediatric emergency room and people.
So what the hell happened?
Okay, so on Saturday of Labor Day weekend,
Okay.
we did not go anywhere Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
We woke up to hearing my one son cough a little bit.
All right.
And we were like, oh, it's his first cough, his first cold. Like, what a cutie. His cough sounded so sad and cute.
Okay.
And it was just a cough. And then the next day there was a runny nose. And we're like, oh, he has his first cold. So cute,
Okay.
so sad. We weren't concerned about the other guy catching it. We were just like very minimal symptoms other than
Okay.
cough and nose running. This is Sunday, Monday,
Okay.
into Monday, which was Labor Day. Woke up a lot more. Actually, so Sunday night, we got a little bit of a fever, low grade,
Okay.
100.4, 99 under the arm. So I was like, oh, maybe I should just check rectally. So I
Yes.
did that.
Good.
And it was 100.4. Doctor said
okay.
it's a cold
Yes.
to be expected.
Yes.
You know, whatever. My boys, I'm blessed, they sleep through the night. He woke up at 10:30 because his nose was so, you know, when we get sick at night,
Yes.
we're worse at night.
Yes.
His nose was so stuffy that he couldn't soothe through the pacifier because he couldn't like breathe through his nose.
Yes. Oh.
So we aspirated for the first time. It was fine. And the next day we called the doctor.
Okay.
They're like, it sounds like just a cold.
All right.
Feel free to come in.
Okay.
Up to you. We go through Monday, aspirating, you know, completely, like, we have no idea about handling sick kids, whatever. Like,
Yes.
it's new territory for us. We've
Yes,
been very
yes.
blessed. Our kids have been really healthy.
Okay.
Tuesday morning, I called the doctor. I said, I don't know if I should come in. I think it's a cold. And she's like, yeah, it sounds like a cold. And I was just like, you know what? Even if he has a cold, I'm not that pleased.
Yes.
I'm going to go in.
Yes. Your gut was telling you something.
I'll go in.
Good.
I really
Good.
went in thinking he would have a cold. And my fantastic pediatrician team at Tribeca Pediatrics in Jersey City, I cannot say enough about, I actually saved their lives because I went in and I'm like, I think he has a cold. And she's like, no, he is having really big problems breathing. This is a problem. I anticipate you might have to go to the ER later tonight. Like, things could get bad.
Okay.
She showed me, she took a YouTube video out and was like, this is what to look for.
Was it RSV?
It was RSV.
I was just going to curse the bad word.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, well, but she didn't, so it was bronchiolitis when we went there.
Okay.
And she was like, I need you to look for these things. And I literally, that was traumatizing in itself.
Yes.
Because you go in thinking that your kid has a cold, and we were planning to go on vacation on Thursday to the beach.
That's cute.
And they were like, no, these are the things to look for. And I just can't thank the doctor enough for taking the time out to show me on YouTube what to look for. So if your doctor doesn't do that for you and you're not sure, press them to make sure you know what it is that you should look for.
So she just looked for a baby, like, in the throes of RSV?
She said, like, a medical emergency baby labored breathing. And she showed me a video of what to look for, which is like the chest coming in and out. And I'm literally like, wait, what? So we do a nebulizer treatment of just saline there. We go home, he's a lot better. At around 4, and I think he's doing that labored breathing thing, and I'm showing it to my husband, and I'm showing it to my nanny. I'm like, what do you guys think? And they're like, oh, we think he's kind of okay, but we're not sure. So the night goes on, we put him to bed. I text my friend and say, oh, did your son ever have labor breathing? And she said, yes. What she did was bring the baby into the room. Yes. And I was like, I don't know if I should do that, disturb him. So I went into the room to sleep.
In the room.
And we blew up a air mattress. I've never done that. I go in and I'm like, wait a second, I'm not sleeping. This kid can't breathe. So I called the doctor. The doctor said to me, I'll never forget, do you need an ambulance?
Good.
Or should you drive? And I was like, I don't think I need an ambulance, but I can't believe you just said that to me. Okay. Because I had no idea.
So wait a second. So he heard the baby over the phone?
No, I was just describing how quick, and good question. We counted how many breaths he was taking in a minute.
When you took off his shirt, did they tell you to take off his shirt and then look? So what you're supposed to do is that you take off his shirt. This goes for toddlers too. And by the way, this could happen again. So but now you know.
I know now.
And the first time's always scary. But you take off their shirt, and then this little piece of their throat, if you see that it's pulling in, that means that even if he's not making the sound, you could see that they are trying to pull in a breath.
Yes.
So you looked for that and you saw it.
Flared nostrils we looked for, which we did not have, thank God.
Okay.
But it was actually where we saw was the rib the collapsing up and up. And so we counted. I know. It was so traumatizing. So we counted. It was like 70 breaths a minute. So we threw them in the.
How many is it supposed to be?
It's like 30, 40.
Okay.
And I luckily have one kid that wasn't breathing bad, so I was able to be like, this kid's breathing way too fast. Yeah. And he's just breathing too fast. So, as a twin parent, you do rely on your partner for some level of strength, and to have to leave your partner and say, okay, I'm getting in the car at 11:45 and driving to the ER by yourself. It's incredibly traumatizing. Yes. And the option was to go to the city or to go stay in Jersey. No. And I just didn't want to deal with all the city hospital madness.
And you also don't know if you go through the tunnel. What if there was an accident in the tunnel and then you're stuck in the tunnel?
And parking in the city, forget it by myself.
No, you don't have to worry about that. If you go to the ER, there's valet.
That's
I know
true.
That's so
that's
pinkies up. But at most valets, at most ERs, there's usually an emergency place to leave your car.
They did have that there.
Because they're not for the people that just park in the rear.
Right.
By the employee parking.
Right.
Okay, so you get to Hackensack.
I get to Hackensack, and my son has a respiratory issue. They actually were like, we can take your car, but there's a spot right here. I was like, I'm just going to take the spot.
Good.
Run in with him. The women that met me there were incredible. They're like, he is breathing fast. Took us right to the back.
Good.
Hooked him right up with all the stickers. Good. And that's traumatizing.
How was he doing?
He was
Because we know
what we describe as a happy wheezer.
Good.
The kid couldn't stop flirting with everybody that came in. And anytime anybody walked in, he was like, a new face, and it's actually funny because normally sometimes new faces was triggering like crying.
Okay.
But when they were sick, they like loved everybody. When he was sick, he loved everybody.
That they were gonna help him.
He was so so sweet. First time things that happened. One was my husband was supposed to leave at 4 a.m. for a flight to DC.
Yeah, well.
So I'm like, I'll see you at 2, probably when this is all done, and like, you'll get on your flight, whatever. So it's 11, and I don't know about everybody else. I'm sure you've all felt this way, but when you're in the hospital, it's like time goes by so fast, but time stands still.
Correct.
You look up, it's a half hour later,
Yes.
but you don't know how it's been a half
Correct.
hour. And that was kind of how we were living there. I didn't know what to look for on the monitor.
Yeah.
Other than I looked at the respiratory rate, which seemed very fast.
Yes.
When I actually, now that I know, should have been looking at the oxygen levels.
Yes.
In between, you wanted above 95, 96%.
What was it? Do you remember?
I do not know. I was looking at the respiratory rate, which I now know is the wrong figure. But it was low enough.
But it's also, for the record, it's not really anything that you have to look for.
It's not.
They have it set that it's going to beep. Like it's set for every patient, every individual patient. It's not like, this is just on all the time. So it'll beep. So it's nothing that like you have to worry about. Like, always know that your doctors will always do the right thing, and alarms will go off. And sometimes the thing is a lot of people will not hear the alarms, but sometimes in a pediatric ER, the alarms don't go off near the patient. They go off at the desk so that it doesn't alarm the child.
They did both of those things for us.
I thought, I was like, why isn't that going off? We've been in ER in Florida, because we've been in ERs all over the place. So we're well versed in the arts of the ER, but I can remember our first visit, so I feel like I can't breathe because I remember it's more stressful for you. Because, by the way, who was it?
It was Knox.
Okay, so he's like, okay, that's great, everybody's coming in. Did they give him oxygen or the little nasal cannula thingy?
I'll get there.
Okay.
So,
oh, no.
So I'm totally thinking we're leaving, and then the doctor comes in at 2 and is like, yeah, we're going to admit you for observation. And I like never forget sending the text to my husband being like, you're going to need to cancel your flight because we're being admitted. And he was like, what? Because I think with this RSV, and I'm sure if anybody's experienced it, like, feel free to chime in, but it doesn't, the symptoms that you see are not that bad, and the things that they can do for it is not medication. Mm-hmm. So you're like, what am I doing here other than you're monitoring my son's breathing if he needs oxygen or not? So we were there for the day. He gets better and there. He didn't go too low, and they're like, okay, he can go home. And I'm like, disinfect everything. I like told my nanny, like, disinfect, clean everything, get it all taken care of, so my other son doesn't get it. Thursday morning, my other son woke up with the same symptoms.
But now you're like, I got this.
Yes.
Did you remember any of the nurses' names?
We actually bought we bought the nurses like pizza and stuff to shout out.
Classic.
I don't. The whole
Chelsea
team there was.
Knew you would do it.
The whole team was great. So
good.
So Nash started showing signs, and I think this is where I hit my twin mom lowest point, which is like, this is just a really hard thing to have 2 sick kids.
Yes.
And I'm sure other people out there know, but when you experience it for the first time, it's very mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, nebulizing, aspirating, crying, food. I mean, not feeding, the schedule gets changed. The whole thing is like incredibly jarring, and all of you parents out there know, but I didn't know until I was in it.
Well, surprise.
Yeah.
These are things that we don't tell you.
Right.
Because you hope that you never need to know.
So then, Nash had it, and on Sunday night he had to go to the ER. Luckily, my husband's parents were over, so we both got to go together. And then we were laying in the bed in the triage room between being admitted and not, and they're like, he looks much better than your other son, you'll probably be out of here. Sure enough, he goes into a deep sleep and his oxygen level goes to 80.
Okay.
So then he got the oxygen, little football player stickers. Oh, and because he got so low and went low again with the oxygen, we were there for 2 nights with him.
Okay. So did they give him shots or just nebulizer treatments, or they literally watched it? Did they put a vest on him that like pounds his little back or anything like that?
They did a lot of deep aspiration.
Okay.
The saline down the nose.
And it's like a neti pot. It's like baby's neti pot.
It's so sad. How did he do? Horrible.
Yeah,
it doesn't get better.
I watched Johnny do it at 9. You want to talk about horrible Shit, I can't even not say the word.
Yeah.
That was bad, man.
I can't even imagine.
But whatever. It's like, who cares? Just,
it helps. It
you
helps
gotta do
so
it,
much.
and you'll realize that I hope you'll never go through this again.
But I'm probably going to have to with RSV. I feel like it's so common and so easy to catch.
I don't know. I feel like maybe like they've been through it. It's going to be less scary for them. It's going to be less scary for you.
Yeah.
So even if you have to do it, but it's interesting because a lot of people like they never assume that they're going to need an ER visit. But if you've never been to the ER, you should at least have a way to get to the ER and know the path that you're going to take. Because where we are, we're pretty lucky. Like there's also signs all over the place with a big H telling you how to get someplace. But sometimes when you're in more rural areas, it's not as direct. And you should have two ways to get to the hospital because let's say, you have one major thoroughfare, but then they're doing construction.
Yeah.
You have to know the back way to the hospital. And also you should find that which is funny because we never have a plan, by the way, when we talk to each other. It's just like what's going to happen. But you should also find the hospital that has the pediatric ER. So Chelsea did that ahead, or was it an accident?
My doctor told me these are the two that I recommend. And she said, go home and have a discussion with your husband about which one you're going to go to in case of an emergency. And I was like, what is this lady talking about? My kid has a cough. And then
you always have to know.
I said to my husband, I was like, I think we need to talk about this. And I was like, I guess we would do hack and sack, right? Yes. But one thing I will say to your point is having the way is I was actually so flustered when I was leaving. And I was so upset that he was breathing like I was just in a poor mental state to be driving. That it took me a while to take a moment to plug in the GPS. I park in a garage.
Yes.
So the dashboard doesn't read until I drive. And I was like, let me just drive. And then I was like, no. Good. And I pulled over and I had to like take a deep breath and I plugged it into my Google Maps and went and it was just.
So maybe it's not the worst idea if it was plugged into your GPS full time.
Probably a very good idea.
Okay,
yes.
So we're going to do that now. Everybody's going to do that because now we've just made everybody shout themselves over this. So we're like, oh yeah, it happens.
Because when you have twins, you're alone. So there's nobody else. Somebody has to be home with the other. My husband's like, we're all going to the hospital. I'm like, no, we're not. No, there's one kid that's sleeping. You stay home with that kid. Yes. We go. And we all figure this out.
Listen, the pediatric ER is just the best because if you go to a regular ER, and I'm not saying that like clearly if you have to, you have to, but then you're with people that are having heart attacks and you're with people in car crashes and you're with, elderly people with broken hips. So you're not necessarily like in an environment where it's kid friendly. Right. And then it's even super scarier.
Right.
Plus the pediatric ERs always have the right pediatric equipment.
Absolutely.
Because the stuff that they sucked out his little schnozola with, it's not the same size as they would use for us.
No.
So they have to have the right equipment.
And I remember before we went, we didn't know, we'd never been to a pediatric ER, but my husband was like, or if you go to the ER, are they going to make you wait? I'm like, it's a baby with a respiratory problem. Probably not. No, but like literally that was like a concern, which is ridiculous. But
for the record, we've been to a hospital with a respiratory issue and they made us wait 45 minutes. And then I went to Jersey. This is bullshit. Listen, but no, mine was in Jersey.
Really?
Yes. Freaking Newton. I'm gonna never go there again in my life. I swear if I'm dying, drive me back to the city.
Yeah, make sure you go to a good hospital.
You have to know. But there's some urgent cares that can handle that, by the way. So if you're closer to an urgent care, you're better off just getting the help that you need and then calling an ambulance from the urgent care if the urgent care can't do anything. But a lot of times, most urgent cares have the nebulizer. They have something to stabilize. But really, when in doubt, call 911. But always know that 911 is going to take you to the hospital that's closest to your home, not necessarily the hospital that you want to go to.
Yes, that.
Oh, God.
And then, but some things I learned, right, so that I will share is if your baby takes a formula, like bring a ton, because I found out that hospital was an Enfamo hospital and my babies are on Similac. And so I needed to get the right formula. Look, I could have switched it if it was dire, but I didn't want to add to the trauma. I found that a long sleeve onesie was best because they needed their feet for the monitor. And I only had... in the bag, I only had a collared t-shirt for Knox the first time we were around. Well, he looked like a little stud, which isn't a problem, but he was in this collared t-shirt or a full onesie. So like coming in and helping this like little schoolboy, he looked like it was so cute. But anyway, so like I was much better prepared for my second when we went. And bring clothes for yourself. I had nothing, and I was so and it was freezing.
Have that in your trunk.
I know that's what also my other lesson was. I need to have that stuff ready.
You should always have a sweater in your trunk.
I know, but then I ended up like.
I know,
but
rookie mistake. Add for the record in class. We talked about having a shirt for you in your diaper bag. I don't want to hear nothing from this girl
I know.
about that.
I
but-
very rarely, like, the diaper bag gets packed and unpacked like 6 times a day, you know, but I think that was a good
keep
lesson.
it in your trunk. Just
Yeah.
keep, like, everybody should just have, like, a sweater, an extra change of clothes for the kids. You could even have some powdered formula just in a bag that lives in your trunk. It doesn't, like, it never comes out. And just leave it there, and then use it in case of emergency. And then, but an emergency doesn't have to be like a literal emergency.
Right.
It could be like, oh, we're at the park and there's poop everywhere, and what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely want to have that. Oh my God, Mama, I'm so stressed for you right now. And now you're like to the next stage of life where we got solids. Did you do it yet? Are you starting? What are you doing?
So I started at 4 months with a little bit of
Okay.
sweet potato and peas. I am learning that it's really, like, once you're in this groove of feeding, it, like, life slaps you in the face and like, oh no, this is still going to take a lot more time. I also took a class on how to make some baby purees, which with a bunch of other moms, and I got really drunk. I got too drunk. There was no food, and there was just rosé. So I mean, come on.
I really, really like this idea.
It was really fun. It was a really fun class.
So it really wasn't a baby food making. It was really a night out. It's a drinking night out with a side order of baby making.
Depends on who you are.
So did everybody was like at a real? But that's really good.
I don't think
for you
anybody
guys
else
to
got
get
as
out.
drunk as me, but
But you wouldn't know because you were drunk.
I was pretty drunk.
So you don't really know.
Because I had to email her after and be like, can you send me what we did?
By the way.
But I did find that it was really easy to make my own. But I don't know if I have the full time and bandwidth to dedicate to it consistently. So, like, will I make some sweet potatoes one night? Maybe. But do I mind just like...
No, that's my best one. They have to, wait a minute. You have to introduce all of these things. So I brought Chelsea some of my favorite snacks. And if you guys have ever watched me talk about Happy Family, you know that this is my favorite flavor. This really is my favorite flavor. Like, no joke. I make my dad eat this too. I'm like, Dad, you're going to get this. Do I have the mango one?
Yeah, mangoes.
Can I tell you
just
this
had
is
mangoes
good
last night. I love them.
with chicken, like when they're ready for chicken. But you know what's really cool to make your own Instapot? I mean, to make food is the Instapot.
I saw that you have one. I might get one.
I just got another one.
Really?
Yes. Let's not even talk about it. This is now my second Instapot. But I really, really, really love it. Like, I am done with my slow cooker because I love a slow cooker, but now I could do both. But I find the pressure cooking for vegetables, it's great. It's absolutely, like that, I could see if I had that when they were babies, would I necessarily, like, do it full time? No. But, like, I would do it once in a while. I would make the batches of sweet potatoes and then sage spoonfuls. You know, they sell those little good containers.
That's what we did, and we freeze them.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I have, like, I live for my label maker, so I, like, labeled the date that I did it.
Oh my gosh. It probably takes you longer to label.
I know, but I do like my label maker. It makes me feel really organized. And then I'm like living a lie. I'm like, look, I'm so organized.
Just one thing, but only the front of the freezer. Behind it, it's the 12 bottles of vodka.
Right.
That's it. That's all. It's 9 things of baby food hiding.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I mean, some things are really easy, like put the frozen peas in the microwave and then put them in the food processor and then scoop them into a thing.
Yeah.
I think my freezer is weird, so sometimes the temperature gets too, like, this is like...
No, just make enough for the week and then just leave it in the fridge.
And
that's it. Don't put it in the freezer.
You know
just
what?
Make enough for the week.
Last time we spoke, you asked me if I was, like, missing milestones, and I think the one thing that I'm missing is, like, feeding them solids during the day and introducing them to solids, and that's something I can work out with my nanny more. But
you know, you gotta like to give one and then you wait a little bit.
Wait like 4 days.
Yes.
But you know, that's just something that I'm like,
this one too, by the way, may make them like their poop turn a little red, and then everybody's like, oh my God, they're averaging. They're not. It's usually the straight beets. Like if you feed them straight beets, this is like broken down with the apples and guava. I do like this one, but still the other one is definitely my favorite. But I put this up myself over chicken.
It looks good.
Like when
it's just mangoes.
I made like this like Jamaican chicken with this as my side. This is what I do with my supply of baby food that I have. Yeah, it's really, really cool. But there's different stages. I mean, I think I may have
6+
brought you
months.
all too.
So I think, you know, the thing about feeding is there's no like right way, and
Yeah.
there's no book. Like I just like I want a great book on it that's
There
not baby
are.
led weaning though.
No,
It
there's
is.
that Sage Spoonfuls book is good,
Sage
and
Spoonfuls.
Happy Family has a fantastic book.
I just want somebody to be like, okay, Chelsea, you feed them this, and then at this hour you do this.
Do you
and this
want me
amount.
to make you? I'll make you a schedule.
A schedule? I think if anybody has one, or if you want to make one,
I'll
I
make
think
you a
that's I
schedule.
need a schedule.
You tell me what you need, and then do you want me to give you like the literal vegetables and be like, tomorrow we're doing string beans.
no,
Get ready.
No, I just
Do you
need
want
to
me to
know
make you a
like
shopping list? What
what
do you want me to do?
time.
To feed
I don't
them?
know, just like a
It's in the book.
I mean,
It's
I'm
literally
sorry.
in the book.
I feel like I like rolled up my sleeves. I thought
You're
I
like,
got
I'm
through
done.
the book.
I
No,
know
I'll go
everything.
through the book. I'll go back to
I
the book.
swear to God, it is in there. And then
Okay.
we talk about, like, I gave you a schedule. And then I'll give you another schedule. Like, I'll give you whatever you want. Why didn't you just call me and tell
I
me?
don't know. It's like
These guys are calling me. I had like 9 texts yesterday over like random. It was mostly dads.
Yeah?
I had a lot of texts from men yesterday.
I
They were worried
did.
about their wives. That was really, really nice, actually. It was
I
good.
did almost text you when we were in the hospital because and
Oh my
at
God,
that.
I would have like been there. I'd
But
be
it's
like,
just,
okay.
you know, I
I'm
think
in.
upon reflection, it was just so mentally and physically taxing.
Yes.
And all I wanted to do was go back to work and wear a bra. Because I just hadn't like worn a bra in like a week. Like I hadn't taken.
Because you're in the hospital.
Basically, because I hadn't taken care of myself.
Yes.
And like I just was looking forward to going
No,
back to work and
that's
felt like we
normal.
kept like coming. We were just like in this
Yeah.
dark cloud of sickness over my house, and you know I know everybody's been through it. So, but that was a very challenging, unforeseen.
But you know,
challenging
this
moment.
was sadly, it was definitely probably the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst thing.
No,
that could
but it
happen.
was a very it was
I mean,
it
we
wasn't
could
the
just
best
call
case. It
no.
wasn't the worst.
No, it was not
was
not
just
the
a
best.
scenario.
It was bad though. Like the ER sucks, man.
It does.
It doesn't get any better. But on the bright side, you made it through. It was it's a huge thing, and getting your first ER visit out of the way this early on
It's good.
is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And I gave myself a pass to eat whatever I wanted, so that was nice.
Well,
I
what-
made my
what
husband
would
bring me
you-
like the biggest Italian.
Yeah, you're like, what would it be? No, we'll go back to the romaine hearts.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eat these.
No,
3
I was like,
romaine
just give me
leaves.
everything. I was like, a whole pizza, great, I want it. So I like
Good.
ate my feelings, which was
Good,
a nice.
That's it. and on the brighter side, also, you got a present.
Oh yes. Oh, I know. I just opened it.
Oh my God! Here, we just opened it. We're coming in. Oh my God! Oh my nerves.
It was
Could you
beautiful. It
see
has my
it?
son's names on it, and then on the back it has their birth times,
Oh my goodness.
and it says Knox and Nash. And I
Thank
just always
you,
wanted something like this.
Oh my God, we're all crooked.
And I,
Look at this. Is that normal? Here's what. Watch us break everything. No,
There we go.
There we go. Is that it? This is really. It's like a fun house with this. Okay, good. Now watch it fall.
No, it's not gonna fall. It won't fall. I don't know.
If it falls, it
I'm
falls.
terrified, but this I love it, and I actually was like had one of these in my cart at another place. So
I
was just
think
like,
we miss
I
Grandparents
brought it to
Day.
tear.
I would do Grandparents Day. We miss Grandparents Day. I'm the worst, like, daughter-in-law when it comes to stuff like
Well, I
that.
think
My
you're a
poor
lot busy.
kids. Yeah, but that's not an excuse. I should still
Stay
do something for them.
though.
I know. You know, when I was little, Grandparents Day like began maybe when I was like 15. I remembered. I was like, what? I gotta make a card. I wasn't upset. I was just like, I never heard of this. But neither did my grandmother. Like,
Yeah.
my grandmother was like, yeah, I don't even really know what Grandparents Day is.
I don't know
So,
anything about
yeah, I just want to come here all the time and ruin your day.
anytime you want.
This
You're
is
not
so
ruining my
fantastic.
day.
How nice is it to like be with like real people and get
In
out
person.
of my hole that I work in? It's actually not. I redid my whole apartment. You gotta come look at it.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, it wasn't and not
Me
planned,
too, at
but
Lamella.
gotta. Oh yes, we'll do our next one live at Lamella.
Oh, I have no idea.
What? We'll just eat our way.
We should have wine too, and then make it like a mom's night out, twin mom
totally
night out.
do that. We should have Kylie come in. Oh, did I? Well, we'll tell you guys here. I told Kylie. I actually told Alex I want to have like a live with all
Panel?
of my moms.
Love it.
Wouldn't
Q&A.
that be good?
I love it.
I like that idea.
Love it.
All right, if you guys have any question about what's happening at 6 months, the questions could be coming through. We have no idea.
And we
also
flew
realized
with the
I'm
boys.
never.
I don't know if you want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
so
if you wanna log
wait.
in.
No, well, tell me. We
flew to Florida, which
Yes.
is probably where we got the RSV. But
On
I
the
will,
plane?
Probably. That's what all the doctors said. But I will say this.
Yeah.
Um,
Where did you sit?
We sat in first class, the way down, it was only $250 away on the way down. So like I'm not that fancy, but we had to sit across from each other because we can't all fit in one row. And boys sat on our laps, and then on the way back we were in like economy plus. But the boys were so good, and I highly recommend going to Florida as a first trip from the north because it was like the grandparent express flight, and everybody on the plane just loved seeing babies.
Oh my gosh,
they loved seeing twins.
So wait, so you did one each. You sat aisle, baby, and then what did you bring with you?
What didn't I bring? My nanny, bless her heart, packed us, which was great.
But you didn't bring gear though. You had gear sent there, or you literally packed gear with you?
Okay, so I bought the Costco Sincera,
whatever those are.
Car seats that are $40.
Hold on, you bought those in Jersey and then took them on the plane?
Drove with them on the way there.
Okay.
Checked them at the gate.
Okay. Did you buy a bag for them or anything?
Yes, I bought a bag for them from Amazon.
All right.
And
I think you're the only person who shops on Amazon more than I do.
I have a problem, and now I tell Echo to order me things, which is also a problem.
Thank God there's not one in this room. Otherwise, she would have just went ordering you paper towels.
It's horrible. My husband literally is like, "Why is there another Amazon box here?" Okay, so I got, and then somebody gifted me an umbrella stroller, which was really nice. And we used the umbrella stroller through the airport.
Okay.
But we gate checked the car seats.
But it folded. It wasn't like a real, but it was a side-by-side umbrella. So that was probably the Colecraft, you think it was, right?
Yes, Colecraft.
So Laura's going to throw up a link to that. And then you used
And I got a bag for that too, by the way.
You did, but why?
Amazon.
Because you wanted it, when you gate checked it, you wanted it not to touch everybody else's dirty
I just didn't
stuff.
feel like it should have been in a bag. I don't know.
I'm all for it.
That's probably a waste. I don't know.
That's
I just look at things online and I click.
Totally fine by me.
Okay, so that I will give a pro tip that someone gave me at my office that was the best tip of the entire trip, which was pack for the days in clear plastic bags.
Yes.
So that you just need to grab a plastic bag when you need an outfit.
So you didn't learn that in Twiniversity class?
Probably, but I have baby brain.
You know what,
sorry.
guys? See you later, guys.
I listen to everything.
I've taught you nothing.
Sorry, no, you taught me so much about but once they are here, maybe I need like a Twiniversity now that they're here.
You know what? Maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, when people bring their babies.
But I demoed that in class.
I don't remember.
But that brings up a really good point of how many things are people not remembering.
I'm sorry, I did not remember that.
I'm not mad, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm wasting all of their time. No. I should make people take class when their kids are like 7.
We could bring the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So you should do like travel with Twiniversity.
We tried that.
Yeah.
We should do travel with Twiniversity. Okay, maybe we'll do that at some point.
So that was very helpful.
Okay, good. So that was for the plane and for every day? Like, did you pack, Lauren, when she travels with her 3 girls, she puts every single day's outfit in a bag.
That's what I did.
So now last time we went to Disney, we did that. So it's like socks, underwear, shorts, shirt, knotted the bag like a Target bag, threw it in there. So they just took out a bag. And then whatever bag they took, that was their dirty laundry bag.
Smart.
They stuffed in their filthy, sweaty Disney clothes, and they threw them in there.
Smart.
Okay.
It just made it easy because I like them to match, and like the matching outfits were the matching things, and I just took one out.
Matching outfits are the cutest.
Yeah. It's a problem though because
okay, but when you're searching for outfits, do you go and be like, I need to have? Okay, so Laura's going to give you a link to this Prince T-shirt. That's my number one. You always have the cutest the clothes, but that was my number one thing that I've ever saw your dudes wear. And do you say, like, I want, like, what do you search for? Like, cute baby shirts? Or do you search for, like, Prince? Like, did you go looking for a Prince t-shirt?
My husband did all the music stuff. So he went through and found all the music stuff on Amazon, and then he just, like, left it in a cart and was like, I don't want to buy it. And I was like, all right, just, what difference does it make at this point? I just clicked it.
Speaking of baby things and stuff, are you going to schedule another photo shoot? Because you should.
I will, yes. I think for their 1 year or 6 months.
I would do sooner.
Yeah?
I would do 2 this year because that's it. Then it grows slower.
I am trying to plan their first birthday party right now like a crazy person. But
Where are we
really
having
excited. Probably somewhere in Hoboken, and we're going to do something like...
Why not in your building?
I don't have an event space.
What about that little garden?
It's March, so... But we're going to do like a Tennessee themed. Because they're Knox and Nash, and we're going to get like a banjo and like a country hoedown.
You could call the Chamber of Commerce or the tourism board and you could get like Tennessee related like maps
love
and
that.
stuff.
That's a
and
great
then use them
idea.
as tablecloths.
That's a very good idea.
I'm
Thrifty.
sometimes
I'm like,
good
oh,
like that.
what can I order on the internet that will?
No, you don't
I
have to
wanna-
pay for anything.
If there's
Just call
anybody out there
the
that's a
tourism
party
board.
planner and wants to do this, I will
Or
take
from
it.
Tennessee.
Or from Tennessee that wants to come up and or
Yeah,
has any
or just
idea.
send us stuff
Yeah,
from
I'll
you
take
guys.
it. I'll take it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's the best.
So I'm trying to plan that.
Okay, good.
Side,
All right,
side
so
job.
we flew. We lived through our first trip.
And I have to say, they were so good on the flight. We had
Your
so
kids are
much
really good,
anxiety. We just feed them. Just feed them. And
Just
they'll be
keep feeding.
fine.
Did you use a level 1 nipple, or did you keep them on the level 2 when you were on the plane?
We're on level 3.
Your level, but when you were on the plane, you stayed on the level 3 and you were good. And did you bring extra pacifiers?
Oh, I had pacifiers out the wazoo. And I used this pacifier clip that I'm obsessed with.
Yes. So that was, who was the company again?
Little Sprouts.
Little Sprouts, where, so it's not only a pacifier clip, but they're chewy beads.
Yeah.
So they could chew on the strap. So instead of it being just a strap, it's a chewy toy in addition to the pacifier.
Yes.
We really, really like
And I
this.
do have to say, flying with twins, one, restored my faith in humanity.
Good.
People were very nice
Perfect.
and helpful. And
We
two,
love that.
United Airlines was amazing
Oh,
to
thank
us.
God.
And I will tell you
Good.
that
They need somebody needs to say something.
I
good
couldn't
about
believe what happened right as the door shut when we
Yeah.
were leaving Florida to go home. My one kid, who is an explosive pooper, explosive up the back basically every single time,
Nice. Keep it
I
classy.
was like, oh God, he just did it up the back. The door's shut. They're not letting us move. And it smelled horrible. And I said, excuse me, my son just had an explosive poop. And like, I can wait if you need me to wait, but my preference would be to go take care of this and maybe for the people around.
Yes.
And he goes, for that baby, go. We'll hold the plane. So they held the plane for me to change the diaper.
Wow.
Which, by the way, was explosive. I had to throw the clothes out, and I ran down the aisle. My husband was like, I wish he had a video of me running down the aisle with the baby just in a diaper.
But that's good that at least the people that were around you saw that like you weren't joking.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
It was very good.
really bad.
And
So
I
they
think
made an
knew the
announcement
rest-
and be like, hey, everybody, just letting you know.
Well, what they said is, we're going to take off as soon as all passengers are seated. And at that moment, I'm like, I'm not salvaging any of this clothes. And I threw it all out.
But you changed it in the bathroom, though.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I had
good.
to.
I
No,
was
this
like,
was like,
we're pulling down like the snack tray.
yeah, no,
and we're
no,
changing
no.
babies.
This was
Okay, good.
this was in the bathroom.
Oh my god,
It was fun.
that's a lot.
Oh, they were great.
I'm
That was-
traumatized for you though a little bit.
as long as they pooped before the plane took off.
Yeah, that was the way to do it.
You know what? It was great. We were really, really proud of them.
Oh well, they did it. Well, we if you have any questions, shoot them over. I think we're gonna jet though, so
Okay.
that we could have quiet
And
time.
eat some mango.
Yes, we're gonna eat some flamingos. Is what my kids always used to call mangoes. Flamingos? We're gonna have that. Oh, but they never liked them though, so I don't know what was up with those kids. They don't eat them now either. Mangoes. We should go buy them on the street.
Yeah.
The street mangoes. Love me some street mangoes. Okay,
Definitely.
kids, we will see you later. Over and out. If you have any questions, shoot them on over, and we'll make sure that we ask them first thing and foremost. Chels, we'll see you in a little bit, right?
Great.
And then we'll find out what happens next. All right, guys. See you later, alligators.
Bye.